This coming new moon ushers in the start of the Chinese New Year. After this festival, which marks the start of spring in the Eastern calendar, we depart from the year of the wood serpent and enter the year of the fire horse. This configuration appears only once every 60 years in the traditional cycle. In Chinese cosmology, the horse is associated with movement, stamina, and decisive action. The fire element amplifies the qualities of heat, light, visibility, and dynamic change. Throughout historical texts and regional folklore, the horse is often described as a bearer of vital energy and forward momentum. It symbolises the capacity to overcome inertia and pursue one's path with clarity and independence. In traditional 5-element physiology, the fire element corresponds to the heart, whose rhythmic contractions are driven by finely tuned bioelectrical impulses. Modern physiology echoes this symbolism. The heart's sinoatrial node generates an electrical field that coordinates circulation and radiates throughout the body as a measurable signature of vitality and energetic coherence. Here, the old mystical symbol of fire becomes the bioelectromagnetic force that animates life itself. And the horse is not only central in Eastern cosmology, it gallops through Western history and myth with equal force. It is the animal that carried empires, shaped migrations, and expanded the boundaries of the known world. Socrates himself, the father of Western philosophical thought in many ways, used the horse as a metaphor for the psyche, describing the soul as a charioteer guiding two horses, one noble, one unruly. A reminder, perhaps, that the human being is always at tension between instinct and aspiration, or between appetite and higher purpose. This image becomes even more evocative when we consider the body itself. The sacrum, the so-called sacred bone of Western anatomical allegory, houses the sacral plexus or the Cauda Equina, or horse's tail, the great bundle of nerves that fans out like a horse's tail at the base of the spine. Here we see human physiology, subtle energetics, and mystical symbolism converging. The horse becomes the physical body, the living vehicle animated by these deep neural currents. The rider becomes the guiding intelligence, the inner witness capable of directing that power. When the rider sleeps, the horse runs wild. When the rider awakens, however, the body and mind align, and the nervous system becomes a partner in the great work of transformation and self-mastery. History and myth give us countless examples of this deep and age-old partnership between human intention and the power of the horse. In the ancient world, horses were not only instruments of travel, labour, and warfare, but also symbols of mastery and destiny. Bucephalus, the legendary horse of Alexander the Great, became an emblem of sensitivity and disciplined will aligned with formidable strength. Pegasus, the winged horse born from divine myth, represents inspiration and the ascent of the mind beyond ordinary limits. And the figure of the centaur, half human, half horse, expresses this fusion even more directly. Among them, the legend of Chiron stands out far above the rest. He is the wise healer and teacher of heroes like Hercules, Asclepius, Achilles and Jason. The centaur Chiron embodies the very idea that when instinct and intellect move together, they generate not chaos but guidance, resilience and transformative learning. In other legends, the horse evolves into one of the most mysterious symbols in world mythology, the unicorn. In Chinese tradition, the unicorn-like Qi Lin appears at the birth of sages and great teachers, a herald of wisdom and a sign that a soul of rare refinement has entered the world. In the West, the unicorn becomes a symbol of Christ. It is a symbol of purity, incarnation, and the awakening of the Christ spirit within. The single horn itself is deeply esoteric. It points upward like a pillar of light, mirroring the awakening of the head center, described in Vedic, yogic, and Taoist traditions, as well as the mysticism of Christianity and other Western traditions. Here we find beautiful resonance with the Ajna chakra, the command center and seat of inner vision that awakens when the practitioner has lifted the sacred energy into the inner chamber, the thalamus, within the skull. Practices such as kundalini yoga, kriya, shaktipat and prana bindu work all describe this same essential process, the rising of energy through the spine and its flowering in the head, illuminating the nervous system from within. In Taoist energy work, this same process is described as the breakthrough, an opening and awakening at the head center that is said to lead to subtle, transcendental powers. The unicorn's horn then becomes a mythic metaphor for this inner ascent and awakening, the singular channel of illuminated consciousness piercing through the skull at the forehead and breaking the veil of ordinary perception. Finally, this brings us to one of the most haunting works of medieval art, the hunt of the unicorn. On the surface, it appears to be a simple allegory, the pursuit and capture of a magical beast. Yet, beneath this well-prepared surface story lies a far older and controversial allegory. From the physiological and energetic perspective, the hunt of the unicorn is not merely the chase of an animal. It is the millennia-long pursuit, suppression, and monopolization of the ancient wisdom of the head center, the knowledge of how to awaken the human nervous system, how to liberate and govern the inner bioelectrical light, how to restore the rider to the horse. The unicorn is captured because the wisdom it represents is so powerful and so transformative. It is bound because awakened humans are difficult to control. And yet, like the fire horse of this year, that wisdom refuses to remain bound and confined. It returns again and again in every culture, every era, every seeker who feels the stirrings of the sacred Christ energy rising within them. So, as we step into this year of the horse, this fiery, culminating, transformative year, we are invited to reclaim that ancient relationship between body and spirit, between horse and rider, between the earthly and the heavenly. This is a year to become active, to awaken, to rise, a year to let the inner fire run free, a year to remember the true significance of the unicorn.